Kilkenny make 4 changes to the side beaten by Wexford 3 weeks ago. Michael Fennelly starts for the first time since last August at midfield, while Joey Holden and Joe Ling come into the defence. Chris Bulger is selected at wing forward. There are 2 changes to the Limerick team that lost to Clare in the Munster semi-final. Dara O'Donovan starts at midfield in place of team captain James Ryan, while Garrod Hegarty comes into the half-forward line. TJ Reid breaks this one down. Richie Hogan didn't score at all against Wexford 3 weeks ago. That's a wonderful ball from Hogan across to his captain, Paddy Deegan. And Paddy Deegan strikes this one between the posts, and it's a good start for the home side. They lead by 2 points to no score. That one created by Richie Hogan, picking out Paddy Deegan, and that's a nice score. Nicky Quaid, again, a lot of his puckouts coming towards this near side of Nolan Park. Now then, here's Kyle Hayes, tight angle. That's a great score by the youngster. It was impressive against Clare in the Munster semi-final, and that's a good point. He was there to pick up the breaking ball, took on the Kilkenny defence, and then struck over a fine point. Now surely a chance here for Chris Bulger, and Bulger has put this one over the bar, but it was definitely a goal chance. Good defending really by Sean Finn to make sure he couldn't get a clean strike at it. Breaking ball nicely picked up by Peter Casey. Tight angle for Casey, gets his strike away, and that is the point of the match so far. Scored by Peter Casey from the pier sheet. Wonderful point out on the touchline. Shouldn't have scored from here, but he did, and the sides are level again. Looking to pick out Walter. Walter Walsh does well just to control the Schlither. Very tight angle for Walter Walsh, and that's got the crowd cheering. Walsh's second point of the match, an absolute cracker, and Kilkenny lead by 3. Well, that's all of his own making. Fought hard to win possession. One look at the posts, and from the tightest of angles, great score. That's Walter Walsh, full of confidence, fires over his 3rd point of the match. Well, Walsh was in danger of being subbed around 6 minutes ago, but he scored 3 points for the Cats. This ball inside now picked up by Garrod Hegarty. Very tight angle, and Garrod Hegarty has found a wonderful score, just what the Treaty men needed as we enter the last minute of stoppage time. Out to Paddy Deegan. He's under pressure though. There's a chance now here for Shane Dowling. Good pass across. Here's Casey, and Casey has scored his 2nd of the game. Fine point by Peter Casey. Across the field again. That's a good take by Cian Lynch. Now can he do something? Lynch under a lot of pressure. Has the Schlither back in his hand again. Tries to kick it away as far as Shane Dowling. And Dowling strikes this one high. And it just goes inside the left-hand upright. Fine score by Shane Dowling, created by Cian Lynch. And there's a point between them again. This is a great run again by Kelly, trying to get a pass across, but it's good tracking back as Colin Fennelly picks it up, trying to find TJ Reid. Now then, surely there's a chance of a goal for Bulger. What a save by Nicky Quaid! Well, is that the big moment in the match as the ball comes back towards Lester Ryan, and it has gone over the bar, but what a chance that was for Chris Bulger. TJ Reid with the pass, and a point-blank save by Nicky Quaid. There's a chance now here for Kevin Kelly, and Kevin Kelly has scored his 2nd point since being introduced as a sub. Morrissey breaks it down, picked up well by Dan Morrissey. Back now to Mike Casey. Lots of space now here for Barry Nash. And Barry Nash fires over a point, and now there's only a goal between them with just under 2 minutes of normal time left. Picked up by Kelly under an awful lot of pressure, but it's brilliantly won back by Mike Casey. He's having a stormer for Limerick. But just as I say that, and there's a chance for the substitute Lester Ryan. What a score from Leicester. And that's 3 points between them again. But the Kilkenny defence have been good in the second half, and that's brilliantly picked up by Conor Fogarty, and then he bursts his way clear and doesn't give the best pass out to Mark Bergen. But now Brian Gavin has blown it, and he's given a free in to Limerick. Drama at the end of the game. They're going to have to drop this one in. Shane Dowling asking, is there time to put this one over? Asking, what should he do? Well, we can all tell him what he has to do is just try and get this one in around the house. So Dowling in towards the square, and this ball has been picked up, and Lester Ryan gets the clearance away, and Kilkenny are nearly there. A good clearance again, and that ball close to the sideline, and there it is. Brian Gavin has blown the full-time whistle. Final score in Nolan Park: Kilkenny 20 points, Limerick 17 points.
So Kilkenny advanced to tomorrow morning's draw. Eddie, you were there. What did you make of the Kilkenny performance?
It was just getting the job done, really, Des. It was far from spectacular, but
There's a lot of change going on there, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Some of them have been, maybe you'd say question marks. Pádraig Welch being put centre forward the last day back, where he has played all the league today. Looked very comfortable last night, I think, at full back. Two more backs gone out. Joey Holden back in. Joe Ling was a positive last night. I thought he struggled to get going early in the match, but he roared into the match, so that was important for him. I think he brought out, for me, I think 3 or 4 balls in the second half at a crucial time when Limerick were starting to get a bit of momentum. But look, a knockout championship at this stage of the year is just about getting the win.
All about the draw tomorrow.
Get into the draw in the morning, and that was it. I think there's a lot to work on. They certainly look like a team just lacking a bit of confidence at the moment, just not playing anywhere near what they can, and plenty to work on. So all in all, I thought it was a poor game, Des.
What did you make of it, Mags?
Yeah, I suppose to me, looking at Kilkenny, looking at him throughout the years, and then looking at him last night, in terms of accuracy with the ball, it was very disappointing. In front of the goal, they had a little bit of a fear factor. Maybe they've lost their confidence or lost their way. I don't know if Eddie can talk more about that, but I just felt it wasn't Kilkenny of old. And even when Michael Fennelly got on the ball, the crowd erupted. They were just looking for that old spark to come alight.
But that's the point, isn't it? It's not the Kilkenny of old, and he's had to bring in younger lads. You were impressed with a couple of the lads in particular,
I was, yeah. The key influences last night for me, realistically, it was. I mean, I had said at the start of the year, 2 positions are going to cause Kilkenny problems. It's going to be number 3 and number 6, and he put Pádraig Welch back there after playing centre forward against Wexford, and he put Killian Buckley in at number 6. To me, this is a stylish player, can read the game very, very well. He's a brilliant hurling, and I thought he was very, very good last night. And all their backs were fantastic, but I think he stood out, right? Again here, look, his vision again, his direction of the clearance and stuff like that, straight on into a guy's hand. And this is Richie Hogan. The ball goes wide, which is very much unlike Richie Hogan. And then, when the need was greatest, when they were struggling, somebody needed to stand up and say, I'm going to take this by the scruff of their neck, And Walter didn't have the most brilliance of 10 or 15 minutes, but then he gets 3 points, one after the other, and he's a big man. He's a strong lad. He's hard to hold off, and this is a part of his play that we see again. Look, when they're playing the sweeper last night, Kilkenny, they drop their half hours very deep for puckouts, and here you have Walter Walsh going way back into the half back line, winning possession and setting up another attack, and he was mighty for the team last night. When other guys like the TJ Reeds and the Richie Hogans and these guys who have carried them for so long weren't to the forefront last night, Walter and the likes of Killian Buckley stood up when it was needed,
It's a bit unusual, Tomas, that Kilkenny play games without goals, isn't it?
It is. And I mean, that was the one amazing thing as well last night. I mean, they did create chances, right? And here we see inside, look, Chris Brolger gone inside, and he does get the point. But if he had looked up you were seeing kind of the Kilkenny of old, the team spirit or the team ethos, give the ball to the man in a better position, and maybe a hand pass across the goal to Colin Fennelly, who was starved of possession last night. Here you see Michael Fennelly going through it again, right? 3 guys around him. There's Colin Fennelly outside, just waiting for the little pop pass, and that was guaranteed to be in the back of the net. And as Mike said, maybe playing with a lack of confidence or a little bit of belief, because there's an awful lot of changes in the team, you know. And this is again in the second half period. It comes off the goalkeeper's head. You'd say he's unlucky, young Bolger himself, but it's probably a shot though. When you get 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, you have to put,
had to be down low,
down low, and you have to put it into the back of the net. And we talk about the blitz of Kilkenny when they get on top of you over a period of 10 or 15 minutes. They go for the juggler, they put the balls into the back of the net. They've done that so many times to teams, and that's not there at the moment.
What about Limerick, Eddie? I mean, in fairness to them, they hung in there right till the end, really.
Yeah, to be honest, there's, I think from a Kilkenny perspective, we'd have been worried had we to go to Limerick. And the funny thing was, without ever showing the real Limerick passion that you expect from them, they certainly had this match for the winning, 13 wides in the first half. But here's how they set up. They were very linear. I was behind the goal watching this, straight down the middle, and they left both flanks empty, and they were trying to expose that. Garrod Hegarty was... I was looking at Nicky Quaid trying to hit them. Keane Lynch dropped short here. Now, this is a good ball if you're playing your orthodox corner forward right back in there. But this is when, you know, there's no danger there. Even if the forward gets to that, he has to work his way out of the corner. So maybe the process let them down a little bit, and I think they didn't focus on the product. And yet when they got it right, Garrod Hegarty ran from the opposite sideline blind, and Nicky Quaid hit him with that. He left Joey holding behind him and slipped over a great point from a very tight angle. And in the second half, they came out and they set up a little bit more orthodox, and they had a go, and they really got at Kilkenny, and they threatened to really pull into this match, and maybe the goal chance that went to begging for them was significant. But for me, it was a little bit of the process over the product, because I was watching, like even Paul Kinnerk was in with them regularly in the first half. I think about 10 times I counted him on the pitch, trying to direct them. And I just think maybe sometimes there's too much programming going on in lads. You know, you run here when I run there. It has to be a little bit more instinctive.
But they have brought in some of the young lads already. I mean, you're with the 21s, obviously, Kilkenny.
And Limerick, look, I think that's after the Clare match. You know, John Kiley's probably saying to himself, where do I go next? And, you know, they had Kyle Hayes the last day, you know, Sean Finn against Clare, and they performed very, very well. He brings in a couple of younger guys, again, from the under-21. Peter Casey did very, very well last night. There was a lot of positives from Limerick, but what they were lacking last night was a bit of a killer instinct, because they had Kilkenny on the rack 15 minutes into the second half. I think they got back to level terms and missed 1 or 2 opportunities to put them ahead, you know. And, you know, Limerick people will be coming out and saying, yeah, this is a chance that we let go, being honest with you. And if the Limerick team are going back to Limerick saying, we're happy with our performance, they can't be, because they can't accept that anymore. They've got to move it on.
The wides was significant too. I mean, to me as well, you know, Shane Dowling never looked happy over the frees. I think a few of them, they all faded out on the one side of the post there in the first half. And to me, again, 1 or 2 of them, you know, just didn't look fit. They didn't look up for that match.
All right, then. Well, let's check out the 3 other qualifier games now. Dublin versus Laois, Tipperary versus Westmeath, and first, Offaly versus Waterford.